Do they not know, like, when she was gone, it went back to the year before she was in the league?
This is Gilbert Arenas, a former NBA star. And it was only the beginning of the severe warning he sent to the WNBA's critics of Caitlin Clark. And they must pay attention because every time Caitlin Clark on the court, she brings record crowds, billions of dollars in attention, and historic ratings to the W. But the players might be ready to destroy it all.
Proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face.
WNBA players are now engaged in the largest collective bargaining agreement of their careers. And they're coming in hot, publicly venting their resentment and getting ready for combat. However, what we're actually seeing may be the largest error in judgment in sports history. The players are unaware of the trap they are entering, which has the potential to destroy all Caitlin Clark has set up for them. However, Caitlin Clark supporters and commentators are pointing it out even though they are unable to see it. People are virtually pleading with Caitlin Clark to launch her own league for this reason, and many more that I will discuss. It would have been simple to dismiss that at the beginning of the season. However, given everything we've witnessed so far this season, there's good reason to think Caitlin will take action. She might actually need to. Let's discuss Gilbert Arenas' latest remarks and the current events that may compel Caitlin to take some significant action. Please read through to the end and let me know if you believe my prediction to be accurate. But first, if you believe Caitlin should launch her own league, please like this video and leave a checkmark in the comment section. Let's go back to a scene that proved to be a prophecy.
Like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sit out.
That's a possibility, for real.
Yeah.
This was heated argument about CBA negotiations before to the start of the season. And as a result, they received harsh punishment. It wasn't because some people thought WNBA players shouldn't get paid. Whether they like it or not, they are getting paid more. It's really impossible to have a league where Caitlin Clark makes less money than the Bees car wash manager. People were shocked by the tone, the arrogance, and the complete lack of awareness that they lacked the leverage. That leverage belongs to Caitlin Clark alone. Furthermore, I won't provide you access to the spreadsheets. This vid contains it all.
Came into the league, obviously interest went way up and some of the finances went way up, but there was some argument that it was a little bit of, a rising tide lifts all boats. But here we go with Caitlin Clark, singularly, being missing for the time she was gone, and ratings tanking, 50% in some cases. And then also she comes back and reminds everyone how spectacular she is. And everybody's talking about the WNBA. So if you needed to sort of have it affirmed to you that it is just her, that the singularity of her is what we are talking about and her star power, you got it.
It's very easy. Caitlin Clark's performances cause ratings to soar. They collapse when she's not around. It is no longer up for debate. The figures are honest. This is what's crazy, though. The players have become furthermore aggressive as Caitlin keeps generating all the momentum. The jealousy and pettiness have escalated to unprecedented heights. And the All-Star voting was the final straw for many fans, including some media commentators.
Ninth best guard in the league. Don't try to give me the excuses of, well, she's been struggling lately, or she missed some games with injury. Come on, this is insanity. And I think it's an activist vote by the women of the WNBA who simply cannot stand her success. It's so dumb and it's so childish.
Caitlin received more fan votes than any other player. However, she wasn't merely voted out of the top 4 by the players. She was chosen as the 9th best guard by them, not the players' guard. Last year, this player came in 4th place in the MVP poll. Her season-to-date stats are also not far off. Despite the numerous injuries she has been enduring, they don't protect her like she's the 9th greatest, let's face it. As soon as she passes half court, she is given double team. The scouting report is her. Here's why Gilbert's next statement and everything else are important. Caitlin's admirers are turned off by every attack on her. Additionally, when you pushing such fans away costs you more than just viewers, it also costs you the opportunity to win their loyalty as WNBA fans. Currently, a sizable portion of Caitlin Clark's fan base feels more than just alienation. They are actively supporting the opposition to the league. They want her to quit the WNBA, form her own league, and walk away. When the ratings decline, they rejoice. It's a mindset of us versus them. and it was created in part by the WNBA. Add an impending player strike to the mix. Those new fans are gone immediately, and most likely permanently if it occurs. There may be the most significant conflict of interest between the parties spearheading the negotiations.
Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. The owner of a competing basketball league is negotiating the salaries of players who are playing in the league they're competing against? But KC, Unrivaled isn't competing with the WNBA. Unrivaled was launched so WNBA players had the opportunity to make six-figure salaries that they could never earn in the WNBA. I'm pretty sure that is the definition of conflict of interest.
To hear. Unrivaled, a distinct league with outside investors, a national TV deal, and the majority of the WNBA's best players and up-and-coming stars already signed on, is also owned by Brianna Stewart and Visa Collier, two major actors in the WNBA's collective bargaining talks. Therefore, they have a backup league that could completely replace the WNBA while they're seated at the table representing WNBA players. All of this makes the W much more suspect to new fans. Even while they like Caitlyn, her supporters will eventually get disenchanted with a league that doesn't respect her. We return to Gilbert Arenas at this point. Because of everything that's happening, the jealousy, the Sebia posturing, and the conflicts of interest, he dropped the truth the W needs.
Just enjoy and go on with it.
Yeah.
Like, think about what they was getting paid before they said, Jordan, you're the guy. What do you think Magic and Bird and all them making? Do you know how much Charles Barkley was making his rookie year before the TV deals that Jordan brung in? If you're making $40,000, every 5 months, and now you're making 80, then just do your job.
And vote for the person who got you there. Yeah, that's weird to me.
Gilbert has a lot more to say, but because this is what people find most astounding, I'm going to stop here. The WNBA is dealing with a female equivalent of Michael Jordan. She is pushing the league into a new rung of TV revenue, selling out arenas, and bringing in record-breaking ratings. According to reports, the new media rights contract is worth $270 million annually. Over the course of the contract, that comes to around $3 billion. They are renegotiating the CBA early for this reason. But the pettiness goes on. It's crazy. Gilbert also raises an excellent point regarding their complete lack of perspective.
Y'all eat.
Clean up. Let me clean up. I got y'all.
Like this is what you wanted. This is what you needed. That we're not watching you for your talent. Someone came in that everybody wants to watch, kids, everybody. Now we can see your talent.
The gamers don't seem to understand that this isn't difficult. Caitlyn is not the only person in the spotlight. Everyone is radiant. Simply observe the fever. Their games continue to attract over 1 million viewers, more than double as many as those of most other teams, even when Caitlyn is not playing. I'll explain why shortly. Gilbert later said, "When she eats, you all eat." A former basketball player has before made some sense.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlyn has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have.
However, Gilbert made a statement that may be the most significant error in all of this. The worst mistake made by the player. They believed there would be no repercussions if they attacked Caitlyn Clark. So they could disparage her, minimize her accomplishments, and gripe about her admirers without fear of repercussions. However, they overlooked one important detail.
You want to talk, they're going to hate on. Like, there comes a point where reality has to kick in. You can keep fighting the fight, and you're going to be the odd person that looks bad.
There you have it. They accomplished the exact opposite. Rather than fostering a friendly atmosphere that encouraged Caitlyn Clark fans to join the WNBA, By constantly disparaging Caitlyn, they allowed their jealousy to overcome them and alienated the very people who were willing to contribute to the league's future. Her fans started to despise them. The Fever, meanwhile, used the opposite strategy. Their Now You Know campaign conveyed a single, straightforward message. Permission is not required for our fans. They don't require instruction on how to applaud, correction, or conversion. We are happy to have them, and they're already arriving. And that way of thinking was effective. Despite the absence of Caitlyn, in terms of viewership, Fever Games continues to dominate all other teams. There is much to criticize for all of their errors this season. One thing has been done correctly. Their fans have been welcomed. The league hasn't. Furthermore, a mindset of us versus them has taken hold, not only between Fever supporters and other teams, but also between Caitlyn Clark supporters and the league as a whole. And that is where the players' CBA strategy is putting them in a huge bind. They actually intend to leave, but they believe they will win back all of the casual admirers. And this is the result of that.
Never remember this being true before, but I think it is true for her. Never been true in team sports. The WNBA needs Caitlyn Clark more than Caitlyn Clark needs the WNBA. If the league will not protect her and allow her to play basketball at the highest level, then she should leave and start a brand new league. Heck, I would invest in it. If you told me right now, hey, Clay, you can invest in Caitlyn Clark or you can invest in the WNBA without Caitlyn Clark, I would invest in Caitlyn Clark's new league. I just would.
At one
The idea that Caitlyn would walk away from the WNBA would have seemed absurd at one moment. She has put the WNBA first in every decision she has made. She declined the three-point challenge in the NBA All-Star Game because of this. At the WNBA All-Star Game, she hopes to make her first three-point attempt as an individual. She declined a $1 million salary to play in Unrivaled for the same reason. 5-on-5 is what she wants. She desires genuine competition. History is what she wants. This has to do with legacy. Here's the problem, though. The tide may be turning. Here's why.
Started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better. They got to be better.
Can you specifically detail what you mean by get control of the game, just to be in your words?
Get control of the game is call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor. Right, and consistently call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor.
You can see it in Caitlyn's face, the nodding, the body language, and the attitude if you pay close attention to the tape where Fever head coach Stephanie White is berating the referees. She is not simply listening. Rather, she is agreeing. She is clearly tired of the heavy fouls, the missed calls, and the league's lack of protection. And it wasn't an isolated incident. This followed a game in which she was swiped and body-checked with little to no repercussions. And it's no longer a secret. This goes beyond a single play or game. It affects the entire league. Indeed, have a listen to how WNBA coaches are now approaching games as a result of it.
40 minutes, because we know for 38 of them, they're pretty much going to get away with it. So I think everybody would like to see a tighter whistle and a little bit more freedom of movement.
One, for this reason, I now bring this up in relation to a possible new league. The officiating problem is no longer merely annoying. It's risky. Because the referees won't call it. Coaches are openly instructing their players to be as physical as they can. Basketball isn't that. The league has yet to take any action to address that liability. This jeopardizes Caitlyn's entire course in life. Her injuries have been modest thus far, but her career would be destroyed if an ACL tear or another serious injury brought on by players being too rough or taking too many liberties. All the focus, the sponsors, the primetime coverage, and all the new fans. Without Caitlyn's participation, none of it endures. The W continues to promote a live game as something to watch. However, it's evident from listening to Caitlyn that she prioritizes talent over brawn and muscle when it comes to improving the game.
the news a lot recently that the NBA ratings are down. Should we brainstorm a few ideas to bring back ratings into the NBA? What do you think?
I've been asking a lot of people about this and why they think they're down. I would say, honestly, I feel like the average just basketball fan doesn't understand how good NBA players are, and they think it looks like they're not trying. I promise you they're trying. They're just so good. Maybe people want more beef and physicality, and people think it's gotten soft, but I think that's also because the skill has just changed.
People like to watch Caitlin's ability over body checks and eye pokes when it comes to the W. Additionally, you would imagine that a league that places a higher value on theatrics would perform better in the ratings while Caitlin is around. Once more, Gilbert is spot on.
Something I studied when I was playing. What makes this 25 points a game
that should be your
better than this 25 points a game? It's the same 25.
That should be your
How is
It's
he,
not the same 25.
That
should be your slogan.
How is he a super mega star and this guy is nobody and they're averaging the same? So I had to ask, hey, what makes him more appealing? And the owner, our owner, after a game, he pointed and he said, look at him. He said, look at him during the game.
Yep.
Waving, shaking hands, eating popcorn. This is entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
And he's entertaining.
When all is said and done, you have to consider the possibility that she might be forced to choose a different route if the league does not defend her and the players keep undermining her. One in which she no longer depends on a system that blatantly disregards her contributions. This is where the league should be concerned. There's no need for Caitlin to wait. She currently possesses the platform, influence, and leverage necessary to impose change right away. I believe she could perform the following. She clearly has the gravitas to contribute to the formation of a rival league. To be honest, though, I don't believe she creates anything from the ground up. I don't see how she could play in the WNBA and develop a direct rival at the same time, for the same reason that a protracted injury would damage her brand. That level of involvement cannot be concealed. She would most likely have to go and play abroad while it is being constructed if she attempted to balance both. Even though we would like to assume that her star power in the US would endure if she played abroad, I believe that once she is out of the public eye, many people will forget about her, which would lessen the impact of her league once it begins. The most basic maneuver, Caitlin, might threaten to become an owner of Unrivaled and convert it into a 5-on-5 league if the W doesn't address its officiating problems and put player safety first. Because everything changes the moment she starts playing. Ratings soar. Sponsors come next. Large networks might be interested in a segment, including Fox Sports. Meanwhile, without her, the WNBA's numbers fall apart. And as soon as it's known that Caitlin is considering buying Unrivaled, Adam Silver steps in because the NBA has made too much money in the WNBA to let go of its biggest whistling and unrestrained physicality. The league cannot solve jealousy. However, risky play on the court that ought to have been stopped long ago and is fixable. This seems like the simplest power move Caitlin could do given the league's own regulations. There's no reason Caitlin can't take that same structure and convert it into actual leverage without jeopardizing her legacy, brand, or financial stability if Fee and Stewie can bargain on behalf of the players while owning a competing league. Please share your thoughts about this plan in the comment section. I would love to know what you think. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope to see you again soon.